start with a new chapter of English literature, and that is the Trimph of Surgery. Now, in this chapter, there are three characters, that is James, Mrs. Pumphrey, and Tricky. Now, who is James? So, James is a vet, means veterinary doctor. Then Mrs. Pumphrey, so there is a dog, a fluffy dog, whose name is Tricky, and Tricky's, the owner of Tricky is Mrs. Pumphrey. Okay, so they are the three characters. Now, as James was going through a street and he saw a beautiful white fluffy dog, that was Tricky, and who was walking with Mrs. Pumphrey, and they both were walking through there. And then when James saw Tricky, and he was obsessed, means he was having obesity, he was obese kind of dog, because he was so fat, and Mrs. Pumphrey also fed him so much. And then James asked Mrs. Pumphrey that what is the reason of being so healthy, what is the reason of Tricky being so healthy. So Mrs. Pumphrey told that Mrs. Pumphrey thought that he was malnutrition, and she fed him these stuff like granules and porridges and the oats that we eat, and that the nutrition that we need, she was feeding him. So he was getting bulked up and up, and as she could not walk through a lot, then he was also not getting time to get exercise or something. Okay, so yeah, so he was so fat, means he was the cutie, the funny, and the healthy one doggy. So James thought that this is not actually really good for the dog, or else he would be suffering from diseases. So in a good sense, he suggested Mrs. Pumphrey to bring to allow him to take Tricky to his clinic. And then he took Tricky to his clinic, and Mrs. Pumphrey had a short attack kind of thing, like not attack, like a shock, that she found it so difficult to discharge him away from herself. So she was really prejudiced, and she did not want she was feeling very sad or something, and Mrs. Pumphrey allowed him to go. And then Tricky went with a vet, that is James, and then for 2 days James did not give him any meal or anything. He was living on water, and then afterwards he got mixed with other dogs, like he started playing with them, he started fighting for the food. So the exercise continued, and then he fought for the food, he fought for the rats, and he ate them. And after a few weeks later, then every day what happened was, Mrs. Pumphrey came to visit her dog, that is Tricky, and Mrs. Pumphrey would bring wine, Mrs. Pumphrey would bring a basket of eggs and good wholesome food for Tricky. But Dr. James told her that he would not be allowing Tricky to eat any of these things. So doctor ate them all by himself. Like, wine was for James only, but that eggs and stuff. So then she started bringing brandy and many things. So these all things made James think for once that he would not give Tricky to Mrs. Pumphrey at all, and he would enjoy the stuff which he is already getting. And but then the second thought came that it's okay, like Mrs. Pumphrey would be missing him, and she would not live without Tricky. So he had to give him to her anyways. So yeah, then Tricky got cured, and then once James called Mrs. Pumphrey and told her to come and collect Tricky, she did that, and she thought that it was a triumph of surgery, and this is how the chapter was. Like it was a really cool and short chapter. It is not so moral one chapter. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is all about this chapter. I hope you like this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also comment down if there are any suggestions. Share this video as much as possible. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get my latest updates. Thank you.